Hello, friends.
Hello.
Sorry, I was swapping out pens.
What is that?
That's what does. What's that? An eyeball? Stop it. That's so creepy. I love it.
That's my doorbell.
I love it. I'd make us really, really large so I could see it properly,
Same.
but I love it.
My nephew also really loves it, the one who's autistic. That's why I have it here instead of at the door, because he pulled it off the wall again and the hook is now missing. So
Whoops.
he was also trying to put a grape tomato in a piggy bank.
You wanted to save it.
Yes.
You know. We don't have any cool decorations outside because it would encourage people to come close to our house.
Well, it just goes outside my bedroom door, my office door, if you will.
Oh.
So
That would be hilarious.
Our office has no door.
We have no doors. We took doors off of everything. Not the bedrooms. But the office has no door. It could be funny to put one out there, though. Have a little bell. How's everybody doing? How was your week? What's new?
What's new, Pussycat? Whoa. I'm not going to sing it because I don't want us to get copyrighted.
Yeah.
I have a rack of pork ribs on the grill that I left my mother in charge of.
That you will have to be checking.
I literally said, there's like 16 people out there. 13 of them are children. And I said, leave this on for 2 minutes, flip it, leave it on for another 2 minutes, pull it off. It's been 5 minutes.
So should be off.
Theoretically. She was like, why? What are you doing? And I said, I have to go start my live show with Julie and Amber. Obviously, it's 8:00 on a Sunday. Like,
duh. Stick with it. Let us know how you're doing. What you're working on. Chloe's here. As is Merlin. Hi, Becca. Ready to finish this weekend. So far, it's been very productive. That's good. Mine has not been productive.
Because Julie finished her paper edits.
I did.
Yay!
Paper edits are done. We do still have
that while I was there, but you know,
on the bathrooms. I started the paper edits when you were here. I didn't finish them when you were here.
Yeah.
Oh,
even though the cat petitioned to remove the bathroom doors, she lost.
The cat would love them to be gone. When I say we removed every door, we did not. We removed the doors on each of our like closets in the bedrooms because it took way too much room for those doors to open.
Yeah, because they made the room tiny. They made the closet come out into the room and then made the door come out into the room as well. So like, in order for that to swing open, you can't fit a bed in there. Even if it's like barely even a twin bed would probably even fit in there. So
not if you wanted a side table.
Yeah, so we just removed those, and then we removed the one for the office.
I was like,
see, there's a door to that's the bathroom door.
We have bathroom doors. I was just like, we don't need a door to the office because when it was open, it was covering part of her bookshelf, and we don't have any reason to close this. And the closet ones just made sense. So I just have a tension rod with like a pretty.
Would you stop?
A curtain.
Pretty curtain on it. Merlin.
I will have you know, Bex, that it took Merlin until the next day to let Becca pet her, but Raja was a lot friendlier to Kate. So
I'm still insanely proud of how Jasmine behaved while you were here.
She was great.
I was impressed. It's been a hectic week, especially at the end. Mom had to go to the ER. Oh no, I'm glad she's fine. Follow up with her pain management. She's stubborn. Moms do be getting stubborn. Getting over the tail end of a migraine. Oof. So I'm hoping I can be productive in a creative way for a bit before bed.
I started to have like a weird migraine. Like I could feel it in the beginning stages as I was sitting here, and I've never grabbed my Excedrin migraine faster. I was like,
you're like, not today.
And then I have this eye thing that I put on. Upside down. No, it's not. This eye thing on. And then it went away. And I was happy. I caught it in time to catch it, before get rid of it before it got too bad.
That's the getting ahead of it is the important part.
Yeah.
Plan on getting my recycling sorted and packed into my car to drop off tomorrow, and also take out trash to the road. It's a big deal because I make very little trash since living on my own. I hear you.
Yeah.
We get valet trash here, so they come to our door and pick it up. 5
days a week.
5 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
And we put it out like once a week,
Like maybe twice.
Because
we do keep our recycling separate. So when our recycling bag gets big, then we'll go ahead and put that out. So sometimes it's once, sometimes it's twice a week. Yeah. And they're like, you can't have more than 15 bags. And we were like, we will never have more than 15 bags in a week. That won't happen.
Even when we were moving in and we still had like a lot of just recycling trash and stuff, we've never had that. I love the overlay with the books. Thank you. I do too. It felt right. It's been
for a minute.
It's been this way for a minute, but I'm trying to think of what it was before that. It was like white, like shiplap, almost like wood.
Oh yeah, like it was like background. A teal wood.
Yeah,
teal and white wood.
Yeah. I have plans for working on my fantasy work in progress. I love that, Kelly. Raja is the love me cat.
She is.
She needs attention. I literally only have to take my trash out about once a month. That is impressive. The smell alone would not allow me to do that. My husband and I moved into a new apartment complex earlier this year. It's a 6-story building. Each floor has its own rubbish chute. Best thing ever. Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
That sounds great. The apartment building I lived in prior to moving here had a trash chute. And within the first year of living there, they closed them off. So then we no longer did. That was one of the reasons we moved in, because my grandmother was like, oh, I love that. And then that became not a thing anymore. And it was a big bummer. Now I'm about to start composting, so soon become even less trash.
Do you remember the trash compactors of the 80s? And I know some of you guys in here might be too young, but like every house, like it wasn't even like a bougie thing. Like pretty much everybody had a trash compactor that I knew.
I did not.
Why don't we compact our trash? It would take up so much less space.
I don't know.
We lived in one house that had it, and it was amazing. Like it would literally take a full bag of trash, and it would be like a cube like this.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I can think is that it makes it harder to decompose.
Yeah,
that is a thing that bodies do, not trash.
Yeah, I know what you mean, though. Yeah.
Also, we didn't put food in it. We put like the non-food trash, because then the food we put in like a compost bin thing that they had at the house we lived in.
Yeah.
It was like a rental house, and they had like everything set up.
Yeah.
It's like the stuff that's probably not gonna really. I think when people started recycling that stuff, they stopped compacting it, because then they do that at the recycling plants. But
yeah, I'm still upset because I have a sneaking suspicion that our recycling is not getting recycled. And that bothers me because we separate everything and I want it to be. But
I mean, your trash is only going to the dumpster at the end of the block.
Sometimes, and then sometimes it fully gets taken away. I have no idea. And there's not a dumpster there anymore. Oh, yes, there is. So who knows?
But I think they said
the joys of living in construction.
When they're done building these, they're going to put in an incinerator, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That they'll be taking our trash to.
Yeah. Creative plans. I have a new fantasy work in progress that I started less than a week ago. Making great progress on. Currently in the world building phase.
Nice.
Love it. I took it to the outside can, but only use a big bag. Checks out. Did that. Composting is tricky though, because it can go south quickly if you put the wrong thing in there. Merlin is a sweetie. She just loves who she wants. Zero waste would be amazing. Look at you.
But basically, I told her I wasn't going to pet her anymore. We were sitting on the couch, me and Kate and the cat. And I told the cat I wasn't going to pet her anymore. I sat on my hands, and she like looked at me, and then looked over at Kate, and Kate stuck her hand out, and she was like, and like walked over and just like put her head under Kate's hand. I was like, I guess if this is all I'm gonna get.
Fine, it's allowed. Yeah, I have no idea if recycling is going where it says it's supposed to, but we try. I'm glad that they were social with her. Hopefully you enjoyed the rest of your visit post Holy Moly.
It was a very quick 16-hour visit. It was a whirlwind trip. I found out at like 10:30 on Thursday that she was coming at like 3 o'clock on Friday. 10:30 p.m. on Thursday that she would be there 3 p.m. on Friday.
The next day. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it had been waffly all week. And I said, you just wanted me to speed clean my house before I go to bed. Thank you.
You just want me to anxiety clean. Thanks for that.
Thank you for that.
Thanks for that.
But yeah, we hung out and with my entire family because I didn't know that we were having a cookout at my house, but we were. And so my whole ass family was here, all of my cousins, all of the nieces and nephews. That's fun. And we watched Holy Moly.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a nap, aka sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Went to the coffee shop, went to the bookstore, and then she drove away to St. Louis.
Where she continued watching Holy Moly, which makes me happy.
Where she continued watching Holy Moly with her brother.
And spreading the love.
Spreading the love.
Yeah.
Some cool shit happened to me this week, and I think that still might be my highlight.
You had a great week.
Not actually, but close. I did have a great week. If you are subscribed to my newsletter, which you should be, or follow me on social media, which you should also be, you will know that my local independent bookstore painted my book on their building. They are prime to the street, and their whole building is covered in book spines. And they decided during their revamp, they update them every now and then, they put a Curse and Ash on the side of their building, like the good side that faces the street, like the parking lot and the big street. So now a Curse and Ash is just up on the wall. That's on a building.
Next to Brandon Sanderson.
Next to Brandon Sanderson.
Next to Mistborn.
Next to Mistborn, which I was told specifically by the owners was done on purpose so that we could be tagged together, which is made me want to just dry heave. It was...
Which was funny is that I didn't know anything about this surprise. And Julie was over there, and I'm like still back here, like I'm crying.
I was shaking.
And like trying to figure out what, like, take it all in. And I was like looking, and Julie didn't even have time to look at it. They literally handed her book and like pushed her in front of it and started taking pictures of her. And she was like freaking out and like bending over like I'm going to pass out. And then I just screamed like loudly, "You're next to Mistborn!" And she was like, "What? What?"
That was the first thing I text her back was like, "Oh my God, why are you next to Brandon Sanderson?"
I was like, "I'm next to Brandon Sanderson." I will get to the comments, but they did not tell me ahead of time. My cousin picked me up and said she was just feeling down and wanted to go to lunch. Would I go to lunch? And I was like, "Yeah, sure." She was like, "I'll pick you up." And then to get to the restaurant she wanted to go to, we'd have to go past the bookstore. And so we were driving. I didn't think anything of it. And she was just so afraid I was going to see it. So she whipped into the parking lot like a bat out of hell. We go like thumping into the parking lot. And the owners had put out cones so nobody would park in front of it so they could take pictures and I could see it appropriately. And they moved a cone and she went whipping into the spot. And I was like, "There's cones for a reason. And the reason couldn't possibly have been you. You can't just park where you want to park. What are you doing?" And then I realized what was happening. And every picture and every video is just me shaking and like I couldn't hold anything with my, like, it was intense and insane, and I never would have thought that they were going to do that. And then they did, which was quite an honor. It was really, really cool. And more so after talking to them, because they're like, "We believe in you and we believe in your book. It's a good book. Like, we're really proud that you work with us." And I was like, that is very cool. So now I'm just up there. And I was really excited too, because the artist is insanely talented, and I was the first author that she was there for the reveal for. She said she wanted to be there when I saw it, and she's been doing it for years and years and years, like decades.
Yeah. Like she was one of the original, like she was the original artist that like created all this for them.
Yeah.
And even though she doesn't work there anymore, she still comes in and does the artwork.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, there's better pictures on my social media. But it's so cool. She did such a good job.
And did we go back literally twice in a row?
Yeah. Today's the first day since seeing it. I didn't go back.
Yeah.
We went to a book signing yesterday, and then
we went back yesterday for me because I wanted this book. The author was there. She was signing it. She's local to here. She actually lives pretty close to us, I think. I thought it was cool, so I went and got that signed, and then Julie was like, "Oh no, I have to go see my wall again." Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
But yeah, no, it was a total surprise, and I'm still very much pinching myself. It was very cool. I've had some cool stuff happen with my books, but that was pretty cool. So it was just kind of like cherry on top that I finished my paper edits. I'm going to still do a little bit more tightening up of the story and then really work on the first like 50 pages for query packaging and then start querying. So that is what I'm working on. I am working on tightening up the book a little bit more, last edits before query. So that's what I'm going to be doing tonight.
I'm actually am working on my book again. I have some notes with my outline and everything, that things I'm changing in writing. So that's that. We're doing that.
I'm gonna be eating dinner.
Good. Hi, Leah. My local bookstore painted my book on their building. It's very cool. It's all on social media. If you head to my Instagram, which is linked down below, you'll be able to see the pictures.
It's also in her newsletter. If you read her newsletter.
Also my newsletter, which I send out once a month when I remember, so it's not spammy, so you can sign up for that as well.
And the title is I've Hit a Wall.
I laughed about that this morning.
It took me too long. Like I didn't open it. I just seen that I've hit a wall in my inbox, and then I started doing something else, and then I went
I was like, people are probably like, oh man, she's too frustrated. She's stuck. She's got writer's block. I'm like, no, I've literally hit a wall. I'm on the wall.
Yeah. It was like a solid 2 minutes later.
Yeah. It was pretty cool.
But to be fair, I've had 2 hours of sleep since 7 a.m. yesterday. So like, my brain's not really activating at full speed, but I'm also not tired. Yeah. And I don't know if it's doing some kind of like weird reverse reboot or what, but last night there was no sleep. Like I literally like would doze for like 2 or 3 minutes and then I'd just be awake. And then I'm like full awake. And then just close my eyes, doze. And then I got up and went out into the garden at 7:00 this morning. We sold the last puppy. So I got to like deconstruct the giant puppy wall. Aww. And actually like weed my garden and stuff. Put on the new hose and spray thing because the dogs ate the last ones. I mean, I've been
adult gardening.
I've been doing the things all like literally just been awake and alive. I put on a real bra today. I mean, come on, internet.
My. Look at you.
It's a day.
That is a great day. Look at you.
I don't even know who I am.
Absolutely crushing it. All right. We are going to start a sprint because things need to get done and Jess needs to eat her dinner.
Yes.
To be productive, my friends.
Good luck, everybody. That was unexpected. I did not expect the time
No.
to be up.
I was deep in the works. I was like, oh no, I'm getting there. Hi everybody, how'd we do?
I got 583 words.
Very nice. I am deleting and adding too much to really be able to tell.
I mean, I'm also deleting and adding and stuff,
Yeah.
so that's just what it's positive.
That's what it is.
600
Yeah.
and something words right now.
I think I got rid of nearly 10,000 when I was editing, which is fine. That's good. It leaves me at a good number for querying and then further edits. So I'm not mad about it. How was dinner?
Good. I eated it.
Good. Did they appropriately take things off of grills in time?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. How many readathons are you doing this month?
4, 5.
Oh gosh, I couldn't.
Impressive.
I started rereading this book. First book in the Sweep series. I don't know, a couple months ago. And then I lost the audiobook, so I was waiting for the audiobook to come back around to me. And usually the audiobook, when you get it back, it starts where you left off. And I was like, I know I've read this before, but like, I've read this before, like recently. So I had to get the book out and figure out where I was at. And then I was reading through all of my handwritten notes of they're like driving somewhere and they're 16, 17. The girl that's in the passenger seat's giving her directions on how to get to where they're going. They drove for like 6 minutes in the town that they live in. Like, you can't drive 6 minutes in the town that you live in without somebody giving you directions.
I guess not. Are they new to town?
No, they've lived there their whole lives.
Well, then that's a little crazy.
Yeah.
I forget. I did read the first maybe 8 of those. I forget.
I'm also cackling at like, because it's very heavily based off of the Wiccan religion, and it talks about like the Wiccan roots of the magic and hundreds of years. And I'm like, Wicca was created in 1970 by a white dude. Like, come on.
I was like, do you mean pagan? Because you'd be correct there.
Like, that's a different thing.
That's a totally different
That's a
thing.
whole different religion.
What were we speaking of being wildly off of timelines? We're looking up a book and it said it was written in 1632. And I was like, no.
But it was an author that the bookstore lady knows. And it was like,
we were
she's
looking
old.
at the one that like my book replaced, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, I don't never even heard of it. Like, I just wanted to look it up. And I was like, 1632. I was like, there's
What
no
vampire
way.
wrote this?
Yeah, because the bookstore owner was like, yeah, we replaced it because like it was an old Harlequin book, and like the author moved away, so she's not local anymore, and she stopped writing, so like you can't even really get the book anymore, so we replaced it. And they were like, okay. And then Julie was like, can you go to Goodreads and tell me what year it says it was published? I was like, 1632.
I was like, I don't think that's true.
I was like, Amazon says 2015. That's probably more accurate.
That's probably accurate. I was like, I think that's a lie.
Call up the bookstore owner. Did you know that your friend who wrote this book is a vampire?
Yeah. I was like, that's usually all that's like input from like other reliable sources like Goodreads. Got it real wrong. But you know. How did everybody do? We've got Tessa came.
Hello.
It's been a while since I've been world building for fantasy. I'm currently working on the magic system, and my mind is just spinning trying to make things make sense.
Merlin.
That's why I like horror, because things don't always have to make sense.
It's fair. Excuse me. However, comma.
Because I saw Julie struggle to make her magic system make sense. And I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Don't sit on the mouse. You're going to hit the back button again and we'll end up leaving.
I'll do what I want. You can't stop me.
Sure I can.
Got all the recycling and trash things situated, and now I'm going to spend the next sprint chilling and reading.
Awesome.
Very good. Very good. Got 339 words written.
Woo-hoo.
Right by hand when I'm brainstorming, so I got about 2 pages written and on college ruled paper.
Sometimes I brainstorm on paper.
Yeah.
It just depends on the mood I'm in.
When's fall readathon, Jess?
The Summer Scare Readathon? August
It just says fall readathon.
17th to the 25th. That's the only one I know of. Is it mine? Are we asking about mine? This one? This one right here?
Kelly's gonna have to let us know. Maybe. Maybe. We'll wait for her to comment. I think I have the basics down for my setting. The Kingdom of
Aileron.
Mm-hmm.
Aileron.
Mm-hmm.
Aileron.
Look at you crushing it.
Aileron.
There's a fucking phonetic thing in there. What do you mean? Look at you crushing it. She just
Because some people say aisle and some people say owl.
Ow.
There's different ways to say that word.
Well, sometimes you got to go down an aisle for some tinfoil.
Aisle is ISLE, not A.
Aisle, like in the grocery store.
AISLE.
Not aisle.
Sometimes,
like
sometimes.
How do you say it?
Aisle. Go down an aisle.
Go down the
aisle.
I'll go down an aisle to get some files.
Pronounce the I. In Texas, if something has an I, we don't pronounce it. It's owl. It's full. It's all.
Yes.
I got a pot of boiling water. Like it. We don't say I's in Texas.
I got to boil some water. Oh, that was.
You said water.
Well, I've been here too long now.
I don't say water.
I just did.
I should say water and I don't. You shouldn't, and you did.
Listen, I was both of your accents together.
Yeah. I was like, I say water. Don't come at me. And I get mocked back at water. Oh, sorry. Here's your water. And I'm like,
Water.
Water. Have the water.
I've never heard anybody say it more pronounced water than your friends that came over to visit that you went to college with. Like they were saying water so many times. I was like,
Jackie does. Yeah. Jess is New Jersey, so she doesn't as much, but Jackie definitely waters. She leans in, but she like stops at the stereotypical ones where like my sister and my mom lean into like the Eagles. Like they lean into a lot of weird stuff.
For those of you who aren't in Philly, that's the Eagles, the football.
Yeah.
Or my niece is using her crowons.
That one's just stupid.
That's just ridiculous.
It's a Y. It's a Y.
Yeah.
It's not a W.
That's not what that should be. Yeah, it is.
My Nana calls those crins.
Crins?
Crins.
Crins.
Crins. Crowons. I was like, what? How did we get here? My cousin. You're adding stuff, man.
I mean,
contemporary town. Yeah, it's not easy.
Yeah, it's not easy to create a whole magic system and everything.
I don't know
That's
why.
I'm like, I'm not doing fantasy things. No thanks.
It's an easy starting point for me. Now I'm like, well, I'll go to contemporary. Thank you. People are like, you're not going to continue with fantasy? I was like, no. Reread the chapter I worked on, and I'm happy with all but the last page, so I consider that progress. That absolutely is. Texas is an absolute hot mess.
Yeah, that's why I don't live there anymore.
I'll work for pronunciation. You didn't. I mean, we
debate
everything.
over everything.
We debate
us all the time.
literally anything.
That's just us.
See the three of us together in person. It's great.
Yeah. We will pick a word and say it 1,000 different ways and, just debate things. What region says
Torlet.
Torlet?
That's
Torlet.
probably like Alabama or something.
Not my area.
Like more of a Georgia, Alabama.
It's
I want to get,
yeah,
or maybe a West Virginia Torlet.
Torlet.
Turlet.
Maybe.
I'm gonna get Torlet. I'm gonna go get a Torlet.
Well, to be fair, they do also
Oh,
say
watch
wash
out.
instead of
I'm going
wash,
to Torlet.
so that would make sense.
Wash.
Yeah, it's George
Wash.
Washington. Mm-hmm.
Beware, I'm gonna go get the toilet. It's gonna be hot, and then I'm gonna take a shower. I'm gonna get all clean.
Yeah. I work really hard
Washington,
to not
DC.
have an accent from that area.
You know, the thing is I grew up mostly in Dallas, like the actual city of Dallas, and I have a city Texas accent. But then I have a lot of family that live out in East Texas, which is a very heavy Texas
When
accent.
she gets mad.
And so sometimes if I get mad, it comes out, or if I go visit and then I come back, it does happen. I try not to sound too Texan. So
yeah, I actively try to not adopt the Philly accent. I got away without a lot of the accent, but I did not get away without adopting language that apparently is used nowhere else in the country except for where I'm from.
But you wouldn't
because you
know
would not
that.
know.
I know.
You wouldn't know that it's not used other places if you'd never asked.
Like accents you get because just like watching television.
Yeah.
But water ice, that's just you, my dude.
Yeah. Listen, at least I say water ice and not water ice.
Water ice.
So I remember the look on her face when she said water ice to me for the first time, and I just looked at her blankly and was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Like,
like, what do you
isn't
mean?
all ice made out of water? I don't
I
know.
was like, isn't all ice water ice? Like, I don't understand.
I was in shock.
So I was like a glass
what
of ice water?
are you talking about right now? How do you not know?
And I
What
was
kind
like,
of backward state is Texas? How do you not know what water ice is?
And then the best part is that then I get online and they both stare at me and go, "What do you think of if I say water ice?" And I'm like, "Isn't all ice made out of?" Like they do that all. Like they will have an argument. I will hop in and they'll be like, "Answer our argument for us without us giving you any frame of fucking reference at all."
At all. Because we can't sway you. We need an unbiased opinion.
No, because the thing is, Ohio it's more eastern than Texas, but it's still kind of a little like Texas, so it's a good in between middle place.
Ohio is a weird product of Florida man and Texas. I don't know how the fuck we got here, but here we are.
Yeah,
They're still thinking we mean iced water.
No.
Water ice is Italian ice.
Mhm.
But
Italian
if you're from
ice,
the Philly area only
Yeah.
the Philadelphia area calls it water ice.
Correct.
Everywhere else in the world, it's Italian ice.
So-
Well, actually, maybe just in Italy, it might just be ice. I don't know, but
Well, no, because
in Italy it is water ice also. I have learned that recently.
so
like-
yeah. And I think I used like Rita's as an example. I was like, Rita's water ice. And you're like, no, it says Italian ice. And we looked it up and it was like originated in Philly, that particular brand. And it was originally called Rita's water ice. And then they
They took it
for-
other places and people went, why would I buy ice?
Why would I buy that? And it
all
changed to
is-
Italian ice. And I was like, okay, that's fair. But like, it is just water ice in the area that I grew up in. It was never.
which I've never had Rita's. I've had the Italian ice that you could buy from like the grocery store.
Rita's is very different than that.
Yeah, I'm assuming in my head that it's like a mixture between like a snow cone and a slushy, like somewhere in between those two.
That's relatively accurate.
Yeah,
I would drink a slushy right now. A Coke slushy.
I would drink a slushy real hard.
I'll tell
right
you
now.
what, if you get a Rita's, you can drink it pretty quickly.
Yeah,
It doesn't stay. It's very small ice, so it doesn't stay
yeah.
ice long. Anyway.
To answer Melanie's earlier question, everyone where I live in Ohio says pop, but I say soda. Nana also says soda.
In
I say
Texas,
soda.
every soda is a Coke. It's all
Every
Coke.
soda's a Coke.
It doesn't matter what kind. If you ask somebody like, "Hey, you want a Coke?" They don't just say yes. They go, "What kind?" And you say, "What kind do you have?" And I'm like, "Dr. Pepper." And they're like, "Yeah."
I've got a Diet Coke. I've got a Diet Mountain Dew Coke. I mean,
They're all Coke.
It's all Coke.
I'm known to make things difficult for myself in life, so why not do it with writing too? Amber's good at saying stuff.
I can bring out the Southern accent sometimes.
Best thing ever. Grandma's from Central PA. Said worse.
Warsh.
Yeah. I don't know. I was today years old when I heard of water ice. This is truly an educational channel. You should get funding. The more you know.
There's a city near here called Washington Courthouse, which is a fucking mouthful for a city. But because of where we live, they say Washington Courthouse, which is like decidedly worse.
It is worse.
Washington Courthouse. And I'm like, there's like 3 extra letters in there that you don't need. And there's plenty of letters already.
Yeah, there's plenty. You're making it harder than it needed to be, and it was already relatively hard.
Anytime I send the guys there, I put Washington CH. That's all you're getting.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Washington, D.C., but not.
But not. That's okay. Are we ready for any other? Any other? Are we ready for any other sprint?
Any other sprint?
You guys are ready for the sprint.
I was like,
Maple taffy, I would not have assumed was that. Just a maple syrup snow cone?
oh no. They pour it onto shaved ice and it becomes like a taffy consistency, like a saltwater taffy consistency.
Oh.
Yeah, I've had that before.
I do like saltwater taffy.
I don't remember where, but I know I have had it once before. They poured it like it was almost like the little containers that they put the like hot dogs and stuff like that in.
Mm-hmm.
They poured like ice in it and then poured that stuff on top. I think it was at the state fair. They had it.
That checks out.
Yeah, and then it was so good.
Yeah, that checks out. Yeah, we don't say major. We have some worse people here.
There are people that wash in Tennessee. I had no idea.
Yeah. You don't even have a McDonald's small.
Wow.
Jeez, that is tiny. Wait, what?
But even the East Texas town I lived in had a McDonald's. That was like one of the only things they had. But
technically, the Worcester sauce is also pronounced Worcester sauce. I either call it Worcestershire sauce because I try to put as many syllables in it as possible, or I very quickly say, "What's the sear sauce?"
Mm-hmm.
I go Worcestershire
sauce.
What's this here sauce?
Worcestershire sauce.
You have to say it really quick. What's the sauce?
We don't have to say because we don't have it in this house, so it doesn't matter.
Well, why not?
Because I don't like it.
I don't care for it.
I'm like, Amber can't have what she wants because you don't like it.
If she had liked it, we've been here a year. It would be in the house if she liked it.
Look, we have 2 different mayos. Okay, if we want something, we get it.
We have 2 different relishes.
We have 2 different relishes because she likes sweet relish and I like dill relish. We have 2 different mayos.
Did she come down in a bubble, Doug?
You're gonna look at me and tell me that I'm wrong?
Am I wrong? More credit. She came down in a bubble, Doug.
Get educated.
I'm gonna stab him.
All right, let's sprint, shall we?
All right. Good luck, everyone.
Oh. That seems silly.
Went fast again.
Went very fast.
I genuinely forgot that we were here and I was about to get up and go to bed. Could you imagine? Just like,
The world's just clapping for you.
good job, Jessica. You went to bed at a reasonable hour. Way to go. Oh, God.
I love it. I think one of my favorite things that we have done for sprints is changing the like bring back sound to clapping.
Well, yeah.
It's my fave. How'd everybody do?
I didn't do anything.
I'm up to 1,081 words written.
Whoop.
So about the same as I did the previous sprint.
That's good. I'm at 831, which I think is because I've moved things around. That seems like more than I've actually added, but who knows? Regardless, progress has been made. I'm on chapter 6. I'm trying to go through and like do all the things at once, but we'll see. Slow and steady wins the race, especially when you're working on edits. So it's all good. Does anybody have anything exciting to talk about for the coming week? Anything you're looking forward to?
Can I say something I'm dreading?
Oh, yeah.
I have to go Tuesday and get a root canal.
Yes.
I hate that for you. I love that for me because I get to work from Panera.
Because today is the first day legitimately since I got my wisdom tooth out that I feel almost normal. And then just in time for them to go and do some more crap.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm thinking like it'll be over though. Like at least it'll be done. Like it's gonna suck.
That
but then
part.
it's done.
Mm-hmm.
But then I have another appointment.
That's just a cleaning. That doesn't hurt.
Cleanings don't feel great when they do the deep cleanings. Like you're pretty sore afterward. Your gums.
Still not going to be as bad.
Not going to be as bad. Nothing's going to be as bad as the wisdom tooth.
No. No.
But as I'm only 41 and I still want to chew, I decided to save the tooth,
you know,
and get a root canal.
keep some teepees. Let's see. Of course, the last part of brainstorming I want to work on tonight is the hardest. There's a setting I want to add. Settings are always difficult for me. It's a natural fresh spring that will be in the Golden Oak Forest.
You're welcome.
I believe in you. I believe in you and your sparkly water. Sparkly water. Took my meds, had some supper, managed to get 350 words written. That is a successful sprint. Well done. Cat sounds terrify me. The cat meow, hate it. I get it. I hate it. It scares me every time.
You have a cat.
I got some prep done for the week. You know what? It's better than the ones where we used to use like the barking dog. Like when that was a thing, the cat meow is better than the barking dog.
Mine scares people too, so but I do it on purpose.
Yours is kind of scary.
But it's
yours is literally hexed.
Sorry, Amby.
It's my whole brand.
I know. Last 15 minutes were spent unwinding since I've hit a wall. So I was browsing Temu. There you go. Filling a cart with things I'll delete later. Me internet shopping all the time. I need to call my dentist. I chipped my back tooth. Probably need a crown or something. Never had a cavity before, so I have no clue. I keep putting it off. Yeah, you got to get in there. Yeah, I got to. I honestly don't know the difference. I don't either. I don't have a crown. So I don't know what the difference between a filling and a crown is. But
a filling is they have your tooth and they make a hole, and then they fill it with this like stuff, and it hardens inside of there and protects, all the nerves and stuff. A crown, they place an actual like little fake tooth like on top of your tooth.
Oh, I do have a crown then.
Like my
They
roots
like
into there, but I'll
they
have like
like
a little tooth on top of it. Yeah.
Yeah. When I was like, I don't know, 12 or 13, I got in a bike accident and knocked out my front tooth. So
Fillings don't. I've had mini fillings. They're like your tooth will be sensitive for a couple of days to like cold water, hot water, stuff like that. But other than that, it's nothing. Fillings are easy.
I've
I've
had
only had one filling, but I was a
sealant,
child. Mm-hmm.
which is kind of like a combination of the two, where it's like on like the tooth gets like a fissure in it and they seal the top of it so that it doesn't get worse.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But they also fell out like 6 months after I got them as like a teenager. And
That's
they
not
said
helpful.
that my saliva glands are overproductive and therefore it would be almost impossible to get my mouth dry enough to perform the procedure correctly.
Good Lord.
Hmm.
That's
I
a
don't
lot of
know.
drool.
Apparently, I'm not a very thirsty woman. I don't know.
I'm thirsty all the time.
So the problem with fillings though is that in those other things that they can fall out, which is what happened. Like I have a tooth missing up here at the top and the very back. Not the very, very back, but in like toward the back. Because as a kid, I had a cavity and they filled it. And then 15, 20 years later, I was eating and it fell out while I was eating. And I bit down on it on accident and it broke my tooth. And then at that time, I was in my 20s, early 30s, and I didn't have any money. And they were like, well, we could save it for like $1 billion, or we can pull it for $50. And I'm like, well, then pull it. I don't need it. Pull it. So that's what I did.
Mm-hmm.
Julie doesn't like teeth stuff.
I hate teeth stuff. I hate teeth stuff so bad. I'll deal with literally anything. Gaping wounds, not a problem.
Whereas gaping wounds for me are not great. I will run up and down the stairs with one Band-Aid at a time trying to help.
You did do that. I was like, no, it's real bad, Amber.
I was like,
She got me this tiny little Band-Aid. I was like, no, I sliced my hand open real bad. She's like,
I went back up and just grabbed like the whole
everything.
The whole box of like the first aid, everything, like pills, everything, and just ran back down. I was like, it's in here somewhere. Show me what you need.
I have never been like a gore person. I don't like gory movies or TV shows. I don't like to read it in books. Like, I don't like those things. And yet somehow, when I worked in the restaurant, anytime someone would like slice their thumb almost completely off or their hand open, one of the guys was cleaning up top and like slipped and fell on the counter and like his hand went into like one of like the chicken slicer things, so there was like multiple gashes through it. For some reason, because I'm the girl, they would like yell for me to come, and the number of times that I have duct taped, saran wrapped people's appendages back together is higher than any number that I would like to count to. But I also
Don't
had
tell me
managers.
if you need a wound and blood, I might pass out.
She doesn't do well with it.
Although I am better
had
because of my mom, because my mom bled a lot, and I got used to it a little bit. But if it's my blood, I might be out. I might be gone.
I had managers that would say that like they would tell us that I couldn't help them with their open gaping wounds that they were bleeding. Like they were like, we have to call 911. And I'm like, they're going to bleed to death by the time 911 gets here, because you can pass illnesses between each other with blood and open wounds. Like if I had an open wound, and I'm like, I'm not going to let her bleed to death.
But I'll be careful not to let her blood touch my blood. You know what I mean? I'll keep my blood inside. It's fine.
First off, I've known this person for 5 years. I'm pretty sure that if they had something in their blood that was going to kill me, they'd be like, hey, put a pair of gloves on before you start doing this shit, you know? Something.
Right. Something.
When the manager's just standing there watching people bleed and like just blood is gushing out of their body and like the whole sink is just full of blood and they're like trying to stop you from like doing anything, and I literally told that lady to get the fuck out of my way or I was going to shove her to the ground because like I wasn't going to let somebody like just bleed to death.
But you want to get real gross, and how
we don't.
What are they? The nurses are just so nonchalant and used to stuff. When you do dialysis, the needle they use is like the size of a pin, and they do 2 of them, and then afterwards they have to hold it so it clots back up and you don't bleed to death. You know. Well, one time I went to pick up my mom. She was sitting in the wheelchair, and then she like lifted her arm to say something, and it ripped back open a little bit. And it just started like spurting. And the nurse was just like, oh no. And just like grabbed her arm and like held it and was like, can someone give me some towels over here? I was like, oh my God. Oh my God.
She came home and she was like, it was like geyser. She was freaking out. And the nurses were like, oh golly gee. And she was like, I was gonna faint.
Yeah. She was just like, oh man, here we go again. I was like, I'm gonna pass out.
She's like, I'm not sure if I'm gonna pass out because you're bleeding or because I just ran up and down the stairs twice. But I'm gonna go sit down. I was like, God. I can handle blood and vomit and poop and all the
you
things.
You're a nanny though.
But
like,
I can handle all that. But as a nanny and working in childcare, you think I'd be okay with loose teeth and tooth stuff, and I'm not. I'm not.
I don't handle it well, which is why I didn't go to nursing school. Like my family
could see
suggested.
me trying to give someone a shot.
Being
like, oh God.
No, I can't handle needles. Not like that.
My aunt is a labor and delivery nurse, and that's what she's done her whole career. And I'm just like, I could not. I mean, first off, is bad enough when they're like actual adult sized humans, but babies? No, thank you. No, I'm good.
Not cool. But yes, mad respect for nurses because no thank you.
Yeah,
could not. We've talked about weird things today, but hopefully we've also gotten a lot of work done.
No,
that is the point. That is the goal.
Yeah.
We will be back next Sunday for more of the things. More of the words, more of the writing, and hopefully we've all made progress on whatever it is that we're working on before that time comes.
Yeah. I'm going to write down at the top of my paper what I ended today with.
So that you can keep
track. I can see if I actually make progress this week. Yeah. I'm going to try to work on it this week.
Seems.
And hopefully I'm not too messed up from my dentist appointment, because then I took the whole day off and I can
work. Yeah.
Maybe I'll take my computer with me. And then if I feel okay, maybe I could sit at the Panera with you. We could write a little bit.
Yeah. You do that.
Because last time I could have done it.
Last time
You've never had anesthesia, and when you got in the car, tried to climb in the glove box?
She didn't get anesthesia.
I didn't get anesthesia. It was just local.
Just got local.
Oh, okay.
I just got shots in my gums.
We thought she was going to.
Yeah.
Which is why I drove her, but she did not end up getting anything.
I came walking out, and you were like, I was like, I just got local, and you were like, oh.
I was like, oh, all right.
You were like huffing it down there, thinking you were gonna like have to.
Because you were going in for like a tooth extraction, and I wasn't even sitting in Panera for like 30 minutes, and you're like, I'm done. I was like, oh, did you just like pull it in the hallway? Like, how are you done already? Okay. So like I had to Google like how long a root canal takes, because I was like, I need some kind of gauge for time. Like, what am I going to be working on? Because like I barely sat down.
I was like, I'm going back, and I had only been there like 5 minutes, and you were like, great. Last time they were taking so long, and then I was like, I'm done. You're like, really?
Did yours make like the most obnoxious popping sound you've ever heard in your life when it came out? Your tooth?
It did not make a noise.
Come on, man. Why do you have to ask questions like that? Go ahead. You guys talk about it. You just give me the big old hands up when you're done.
No, it did not make a noise,
Oh,
but the pushing on my jaw is the only thing that got me.
Literally, they just like went in and popped it out, and it made like a really cool like popping sound. And I've never heard anything else like it. Because I think because you hear it up here, because you're hearing it internally and externally at the same time.
I think I was moaning as he was doing it. I was like, ugh. Because like somebody's pushing. Like I thought he was gonna break my jaw. I was like, ugh.
I didn't have that. Didn't have that.
without sound, the faces that you're making.
Yeah, it was for like what days afterward. I kept going like, I can't stop feeling the pushing. It's the pushing. I'm traumatized.
That's what she said. That sounds like the dialogue of somebody from a Sarah J. Maas novel.
Oh God. Well, that does it, friends.
Come back next week while we find some other random weird ass topic to talk about.
And we will, as always.
I'm gonna schedule a weird topic for next week. Be
All right.
prepared.
Yeah.
She's gonna be like, "Hey, narwhals, am I right?"
Just gonna have a list of fun facts about narwhals. Did you know? Oh, okay, friends. For reals, though.
Yeah, for real.
Have a fantastic week.
Bye.
Goodbye.